So Duckcliffe says, can you apply Isaiah 29:12 to Muhammad? Yes, and I'll tell you how. You ready? I'm going to bury Lardo. He wants to take, he's saying, typological prophecies refer to taking a verse out of its context and applying it to a different situation. So if you Christians in the New Testament can do that, why can't we Muslims? In other words, a typological prophecy implies taking a verse that's referring to a completely different event and applying it to another event, ignoring the context, without this being invalid. So he's saying, why can't we do that? You understand his argument? The douchebag, you understand his argument? Can you make it? Yeah, 666, right? 616, right? Narrow, right? But they say in Hebrew, it comes out to 666. Yep. Nonetheless. All right. Here's the verse he says. Can't we apply this to Muhammad typologically? No. And yes, no, because Muhammad is an antichrist who contradicts the theology of Isaiah. But yes, to show he's a false prophet condemned to hell. Let me explain the no and yes, because I know Ducklips is listening. That's why Fat Boy won't show up, because there'll be his janazah. Okay, watch here. Then the book will be given to the one who does not know how to read, a book saying, please read this. And he'll say, I do not know how to read. According to Sahih Bukhari, volume 1, hadith number 3. That's exactly what Muhammad said. When the demon came, pretending to be Jibreel, he told him read, and Muhammad supposedly said, I do not know how to read. This is why Muslims love this verse. Okay. Will typology justify Muslims using this to point to Muhammad? Typology, meaning taking a verse out of its context and applying it to a different context without this being invalid. Just like the Jews did with Old Testament text, New Testament does. You in there? See? So Carl Keating was right? So Carl Keating was right. In Hebrew, Nero's name tallies 666. But I guess in Latin, check the Greek, is 616. See? So he was right. Thank you for fact-checking, because internet, I took him at his word, and I had no reason not to trust him. He's a man of integrity, loves the Lord. Now, first of all, let's answer the question. Can this be applied to Muhammad typologically? You ready to answer the question? Can this be applied to Muhammad typologically? Yes and no. Yes, in that he falls under the category of perverse, immoral, wicked, sinner, false teacher, teaching false commandments, not from God. So yes, it can apply to him because he is an antichrist. Why? Let's look at the context. The context is not about a prophet. The context is likening the spiritual dullness and hardness of Israel to two men. Okay? What's the context? The context is likening God's people to two men to illustrate their evil, hardened, wicked, unrepentant hearts. I love me too. I love me too more than you do. Okay, ready now for that? Let's read the context. Wo o Ariel. Ariel means my lion is God. Let me just double check. Ari, my lion, is God. Let me double check, guys. I don't like to always trust my memory. You know why? I don't like to trust my memory, because memory stuck between the pages of my memory, sweeter than Ariel. All right, so let's see. Come on, tell us, yeah. Memory stuck between the pages of memory. El means God. Let's see what Ari is. Yeah, baby, I was right. It means lion. Memories. Ariel means my lion is God. So Israel is named, my lion is God, because God is their lion. He fights for them. They are his cubs, if they are faithful. Okay. The city where David once camped. And year to year, observe your feast on schedule. I'll bring distress to Ariel. Okay, watch. All you do is just read context. She'll be a city of mourning and moaning. Is he talking about a prophet or a people whom he'll punish, his people? She'll be like an Ariel to me, meaning a lion that roars against me. And I will camp against you, encircling you, and I will fortify siege works against you. I'll raise up fortifications against you. Then you'll be brought low. From the earth you will speak. From the dust where you are prostrate, your words will come. Your voice will also be like that of a spirit from the ground. Meaning, pretty much, someone buried in the netherworld. And your speech will whisper from the dust. This is a context of judgment. But it'll be that the multitude of your enemies will become like fine dust. And then, promise of restoration. I'm going to punish you, then I'm going to punish your enemies. And the multitude of the ruthless ones, like the chaff, would blows away. And it will happen instantly, suddenly. From Yahweh of hosts, you'll be punished. You see it? With thunder and earthquake and loud noise, with whirlwind and tempest and the flame of a consuming fire. And it will be that the multitude of all the nations will wage war against Ariel. The chapter is nothing about prophets. It's about God bringing wrath, destruction on his people by allowing the nations to beat them, subjugate them, humiliate them, exile them for their refusal to submit to his law and hardening themselves against his commands. Do you understand what the context is? We understand the context? All right. Even all who wage war against her in the stronghold and who distress her will be like a dream, a vision by the night of the night. It'll be as when a hungry man dreams, and behold, he's eating. It's only a dream. He's not eating for real. But he awakens and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreams, and behold, he's drinking. But he awakens, and behold, he is faint, and his soul is not quenched. Thus the multitude of all the nations will be who wage war against Mount Zion. So he's going to bring destruction on the nations as well. Astonish yourselves and be astonished. Look, blind yourselves and be blind. They become drunk, but not with wine, meaning they're getting drunk off of their revelries, their sinful passions, their rebellion, and also the wrath that God brings because of it. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahweh has poured over you a spirit of deep sleep. Now, what's your punishment? He hands you over to the hardness of your hearts and to the blindness of your minds because you refuse to see and accept his commands. He has shut your eyes, the prophets, and he's covered your heads, the seers. What does that mean? He will not allow prophets and seers to prophesy to you anymore. And so this vision that he mentioned, this nightmare, right? He's going to liken what this vision and nightmare is. The entire vision will be to you like the words of a sealed book, which when they give it to one who's literate, saying, please read this, he'll say, I cannot, for it is sealed. Now, do you understand what the context is? The context is saying, this is how you will be. This is how I'm going to make you because of your wickedness and evil and rebellion. Because no matter how many times I send prophets to warn you, no matter how many times I plead with you to repent, you keep turning away, hardening yourself against me. Now, guess what? Now, when I speak to you, you won't be able to decipher my words, understand the warnings, because judgment has come, and I'm going to hand you over to desires of your heart and harden your hearts. So now, when the words come to you, they will be sealed from your mind. You won't be able to understand it. It's like giving a sealed book to a man. He can't open it. Well, if you can't open it, you can't read it. If you can't read it, you can't understand it. See what the context is? How am I going to benefit from the instructions of the book if it's sealed and I can't open it? And this is what God is saying to them. The revelations will be of no benefit to you, because now I've decided to bring wrath on you. And supposedly, this is Muhammad in verse 12. Then the book will be given to the one who does not know how to read, a book saying, please read this. And he'll say, I do not know how to read a book. So you understand what they just told you? This is Muhammad. But now, several responses. Number one, who's this prophet? If verse 12 is Muhammad, because he could not read, then verse 11 must be referring to another prophet who can read, but will be given a sealed book. Who is he? Who's that prophet? See how stupid that is? So if we take their typological method of, interpretation, there are two prophets coming, not one. So if Muhammad is this prophet, who's the other prophet? So a prophet has to show up, book given to him that's sealed. He says, I can't read it, sealed. Who is he? Can you name him? This is how you ask questions, brother. You join me by going to Mike Winger. Right? Exactly in the beginning. Secondly, the examples of these two men are examples of men that are under God's judgment and wrath, not his pleasure. These men are signs of Israel and their condition. So these men represent evil, unrepented transgressors whom God is fed up with and now is going to hand over to judgment. So Fat Cow just told you Muhammad is a dog under God's wrath and he's burning in hell. You see why I say yes and no?